In this section, session 2 of our second class, lecture 2, you can say, we are going to review a little bit of what we have done in the last class as a tutorial to learn a little bit about how we come up with this layout using HTML5 and CSS3. So let's try to go through this from the code editor. So Visual Studio Code is what we are using here. You can also use Visual Studio Code or any other environment that you prefer. Once you have Visual Studio Code installed, you can go to File, Open Folder. I have created a folder in my WAMP folder. So setting up WAMP, if you don't know, we'll cover this in the later class. So basically, when you have a folder inside WAMP, it's going to help you. So I have this folder called Theme Park, and inside Theme Park, I have this public folder where I'm going to put all my files for now. So Visual Studio Code is going to open up this folder. This folder, I have nothing. So into the folder, I'm going to create a new file. Okay, new file, and this is going to be my index.html. So index.html, this is going to be the home page. Whenever you have any page, this is where the page will load up. So the HTML5 doc type tag is inserted this way. So you just need HTML tag, and now you are in this file. So here you will have generally your body, and within the body you have all your coding. Let us just test if the file is fine. So this is the main file, and I have created virtual hosts in my Apache settings. So these things also we will cover when we are learning Laravel. So using theme park as a alias or server name or themepark.com.mv, I'm able to arrive at this destination, which says just welcome. So this is of course not going to the internet, it's hosted in my laptop here. So we are in the right file. So this is our home page. This is the file we are trying to make. So HTML5, we have new text that we can use for these kind of scenarios. So in our body, first of all, we have what we known as the header. So header, inside the header, we have theme, park, island, and then we have our left menu panel here, and this is going to be our left menu. And if you look at it carefully, you can see here this theme park is covered with some pixels just to show the border, and there is no other border that is going to cover left menu and the right content separately. They are two different items. So on our left menu, we'll call this as navigation because usually nav tag is used for this kind of services on HTML5, meaning this is a navigation box. This way, as we discussed, it makes it easier for web crawlers and screen readers and other types of devices who are looking at the code. It makes it easier when we use the correct markup. So navigation, inside navigation we have this little list. So let us put this list, and as you can see, it's an unordered list. Most of the navigation lists can be done using unordered list. So we have a list item, home, and this is of course I hyperlink you as you can see. So use hrefs a tag with hrefs of hash so that it doesn't take anywhere. It's just a normal tag. So home, of course. So this is how it should appear actually. And we are going to repeat this multiple times. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So home, activities, hotels. The reason why we have come with this tutorial is because later on you're going to do an assignment related to these things, so it's going to be easier and familiar to you guys. Contact us, and about us. About us. So if you go to the page now, this is how it looks like. We have theme park island, then we have this little menu here. It doesn't look exactly like that now. Don't worry about that. So after the navigation, then we have this is the navigation. Then we have this section. So this section has another section inside it, which itself has a little bit separate section. So what's happening there is a section tag that is used. So inside our section, this is our section called the external part of the section. We have a small, we can say, article. So it can be even article, you can say. So we have an article. You can also use actually another tag called aside. This tag aside. Aside is used when you want to separately give an area of your web page as a separate component. So article, in the article we have a header, and this header is what you can see here. We offer the following fun activities. We offer the following fun activities, and then here inside the article we have our content. So these things are the body of the article. So we have a paragraph, or even you can say H3, maybe there is the H3, and this H3 says check out gallery for more pictures of these fun activities. More pictures, fun activities. Okay, and then we have a little unordered list, of course, again. So we have this unordered list with few list items. One of them is water slider, and like this we have three items. So water slider, we have this activity called Kmart. Then we have on spot fishing. So the spelling difference here, it's not a problem. On spot fishing. So this is how this thing is originally designed. You can see here. Oh, so this is the page. So we have this thing. At this time, it doesn't appear to be any different. So it is just like this. We offer the following activities. Check out the activities, and then that is what the header and this separate content is about. Article is about. So our article is inside our content, and our header is inside our article. So this is also a header. This is a header. You can use header as many as you want, because we have a header in the main article as well in our main body in the web page. We also have a header in our article, and then this footer down there, which is the last item we can see. So that is after this section we have a footer, and the footer is basically it's just information. So contact us at admin at themepark.com.mv, for example, for more details and pricing, you know, something like this. Say if you're interested to hire the island for an event, you can contact us, something like that. So this is the footer, and now if you refresh, we have this footer here. At this time, you can see there is no CSS. This is the basic idea of the page. It always begins like that. So now you can see the whole body has some color. So let's go and do the CSS part here. So we are going to create a new file here and call this as style.css. And this style file, we are going to link it into this page. So in our header, of course, you have, this is not header, this is head. We are going to insert this style sheet. So definitely this is going to be link equal style sheet, type text slash css, and this is going to be equal style.css. Okay, so this is going to be our CSS link, and here we can give body, background color, background color, you know, background color, just a small color. Right now we can see there is some kind of aqua color, it seems. So basically our page also we are going to give a background. This is something like that. It's a little bit darker, so that's okay. We can also send this is looks very pale green, I guess. So what is this color? Color, and we can give yeah, well, maybe like it doesn't matter really. So we have a background color to the whole body, and we'll start with that. Yeah, better. So let's give a border to all our items, because right now we can see they have given some borders on these items. That is just to make layout easier for us to see. In real life, we don't really put any borders here. So on our header and our navigation, also on our section and article, article and footer, they have this border, 1 pixel small border, 1 pixel solid. Let's put green maybe. Doesn't really matter the color. You can see. Okay, now we have some idea here, and immediately you can see this is my footer, this is my header, but the body is not looking like the way we want it to look like. So this is the moment where we are going to identify them. So this is our header, and in order to give CSS to this, we have to identify it. So we say ID equal to header, or we can say top header, top header. Usually this is how we give it, or page header. You can use anything you want. So page header, and page header is an ID. So ID is represented in CSS as hash. You should know these things. It's very simple basics. So page header right now has some kind of you can see here some kind of height. So we can give a height of height of 10 pixel maybe. So the header is little bit bigger like this. It's too small. So 50 pixel, that is, yeah, something like that. And then this theme park, this seems to be uh, uh, let's say we could put a H3 there or H1 there, or we could change the font size. So font size, let's let's have a font size of 24 pt, for example, 24 points, and this way we are going to have a little bit bigger item. And font, you can also change some things. Font family, uh, okay. So um, this is better. And then we have font size and font style. Of course, these things can be given in a single style as well. Font style, bold. Okay, so now you can see it's better. Another item you can see here, the item aligned is, so text align is to the center. That's why the item is on the left. Now you can see it's on the center. You can even make it bigger if you like. So, but this is how it kind of appears. And then on the left, this item is much smaller idea. So on the index we have page header. Then we have our navigation. So let's identify this. This is going to be our left menu. We can say left menu or navigation bar. You can call it any way you want. Left menu bar. So our left menu bar is or menu item, whatever it is. We will give this one settings. So this is going to be our header, And on to the left menu bar, what we want to do is we want to give some settings there. So now we can see there is some width. According to this one, there's some width, and these kind of widths can easily be configured using percentage. So you give a percent here. It looks like this one is having a 20%, and immediately let's go here and also identify our section. This section is id equal to main. We can say this is actually the item on the right. So right content section. So this is our right content section. I like to use uh, descriptive variables like this. So give an ID of content, and this one is going to have the rest of it, which is 80%. Now, if you remember, we have given some border here. So because of this border, there is going to be 1 pixel lost. So they will not exactly work like this. So let's make this as 19% and this as 79%. That way we will to cater for that 1 pixel border. So although it's 1%, that's safe. So this way, now there will be, this is smaller, this is bigger. Still, they don't align with each other. They are just next to each other. So this is the reason where you will learn something new. And usually, what you have to know is because our left menu is on the left and our right menu is on the right, we have to float them. And this is called floating. So if you float just your right, let's see, float right, float right. What you are saying is this item should appear on the right side, float to the right, and also your left menu bar you have to float it to the left, and this way they will be next to each other. You can see here they are next to each other, and maybe we can give a little bit of space. So that means on our items here we can give some margin, little bit of margin everywhere of 0.5 pixel, so they don't touch each other exactly. And then um, inside this is still a little bit too big, but you can see it's okay. And our footer here is kind of lost. You see, our footer here is kind of lost. So that is because the footer, let's identify the footer. This is the footer. ID equal bottom footer. We will give it bottom footer because you might have another footer in there, no? Something like that. So bottom footer is the ID, and here you'll have another ID identifier, and bottom footer it has to clear. So this is clear float. So clear float, we use clear both to clear the float. So that's the basic idea. And now if you refresh, okay, this is back here. And if you actually wanted to make them a little bit bigger by bringing the footer a little bit to the bottom, you can just do that by giving them some height for now. For example, on this right section, we can give a little bit of height because there will be some content there anyway. Height, we can give a height of, let's say, 100 pixel. It's going to be too small. 500 pixel, and then it will come down a little bit, something like this. So this is basically how this page kind of looks like. Okay, and we haven't finished doing the navigation bar here. So navigation bar itself is developed using actually unordered lists. So let's handle that. So in our navigation bar, we have an unordered list. So on the left menu bar, we have an unordered list, and there is some list item. So on the left menu bar, we have some list items. And what we would like to do is on those list items, we want to give some effect, and one of them is display. Display, and display can be changed by giving them a field block, and now we don't have these dots anymore. Display block, and those links, because they are links, they have underlines. So we can give some font here, font size, font size. Let's say 16 pt, and then we can also remove that decoration. So there is a there is some underline here, and those are because they are anchor text. So in fact, all the anchor text that we create on our website, we don't want any underlines. This is called text decoration. Okay, text decoration, none. So you don't have to remember these things that much. We are just, because these are initial classes, we are learning them. So what usually will happen is at the end of the day, we are going to use CSS frameworks, which is going to make these things simplified. You can't do all this coding in a bigger system because there'll be a lot and a lot and a lot of repetitions and a lot of simple stuff that you are doing. So CSS nowadays is done using this kind of framework. Okay, underline is gone, uh, and then we have all these left list items to have a background. So let's give them a background color of light coral, light blue maybe. And you are not going to see this very much, but you can see. You see, they seem like they are one separate item. That is because there is no margin between them, and we'll have a little margin of 2 pixels between them, between each other. Now you can see they are actually far away from each other. And these list items, the text align, we will change it into the center. This way they will become to the center, and then the whole there is something else we can do. It looks like our unordered list has some padding, some margin. So let's remove that, the unordered list item inside our left menu. So always try to be specific as much as you can. Left bar unordered list, no margin and no padding. This is kind of to remove these extra spaces around. Okay, yeah, it is used better. So that's how it is. Now the width of these list items are too big, so we are going to make them again, use percentages for width, that is better. So we are going to have 50%, and that way it will become smaller. See, and again in the unordered list item we can put the text align, item text align to center, to make sure the list items appear on the center. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, no problem. um, so probably there is a little bit of margin left. Let's put a 10 pixel margin. It's too much maybe. Okay, so we're just pushing them away a little bit. Don't worry about that much. So they are next to each other, but they are also a little bit far away. Maybe we'll increase the margin size of the separate items. So let's have a margin bottom. So separate margin for the bottom. You can actually combine margins together also. Bottom of the margin with a 5 pixel. This is better because we don't have more spaces in between the items. There you have it, little bit. Okay, and the items looks too packed. And that is using padding. So you can control them by using padding. Let's give a padding of 5 pixel as well. So the item looks bigger, and you see, looks bigger, and it has spaces inside. And it doesn't look exactly like this because there are some other things we are doing. So when you bring your mouse over it, something will happen. Those is the other hover effects, and those hover effects, we will carry out those hover effects by using a different CSS style. That is because we only want to do that when the mouse is brought hover, bringing mouse over. So hover effects, one of the hover effects we can do is changing the background color, and that background color can be changed into a little bit different type of color, you know. So for example, just for the sake, I'm not sure if how it's going to look like, but you can try. So when you bring your mouse over, it changes. See, that's how it is. Basically, that's it. There's an additional thing that is done here, and that is to make them round a little bit. You see, they are not exactly square. This is done using what is known as a border radius. So in CSS3, we have this thing called border radius. And border radius is going to give us some very round surroundings. See, it becomes a little bit circular. That is much better. It looks better. So that's the whole idea. Maybe we move a little bit to the footer and bottom footer. It text align center and font size here. Font size. Font size. Let's give a font size of 16 pt here also. So it looks a little bit nice. Something like this. For now, it's okay. So this is how it is done. And if you remove the borders, really, if you remove the borders of these things, it's going to be much better. We don't really have borders in real life. See, this is how it's designed. So, and you can see here is actually this is too far. You can bring it down. So basically, don't worry about much. This is how the page is designed. Very simple CSS and HTML. And you can see it takes time, but this is how the page is done. So you can follow on slowly. You can pause the video around. Make sure you have learned what we have done here. That's how we have created that file. Okay, thank you very much.